them a terrorist. But in the court yesterday, they presented their case, invalid report, invalid evidence, evidence that lack merit, evidence that lack concrete facts. Because if actually Simon Ekpa is the one behind what is happening in Nigeria, I believe ever since the whole Simon Ekpa would the killing, the massacring, the terrorism that is going on in Nigeria would have stopped.
In Benue and Plead to other part of Nigeria, Ekpa is not a terrorist or not wanting to incite terrorism, but is it what Ekpa is a freedom fighter? What's your take as well?
Yeah, all right, my wonderful people of Biafra. Welcome back to this wonderful platform where we get to happening just right now in Biafra land. So do it to subscribe because I'm sure you're not going to regret it. Yeah, you guys know say when I know say the trial for Simon Ekpa just came up like a few days ago, and so many headline news on carry detail, no be smart, you know. But when I know say Nigeria is one of these two countries they call Nigeria. They are funny. They say funny pass. As me they talk now, the Finland government have been asking the Nigeria government to bring all the evidence where did they call Simon Ekpa terrorists, and up to date they never see bring anything. As me they talk like this, they never see bring anything. But every day they keep on tagging IPOP as terrorist group. Up to date now, under the Calistine detection for how many years now? And Simon Ekpa was just taken for almost 6 months now. This is the first time we see our Prime Minister for over 6 months. I be 7 months we carry this man. And now the Kalu have been in detection for over how many years? For the same, those say we fight for our freedom. Don't be say they fight for our freedom, but they still calling us. They see the killers. They see the call us terrorists. I bring proof to show say we be terrorists and up. This country. Now, I have an important message I want you guys to listen to. Listen to this message. This is a very clear message from Finland about our Prime Minister and Finland government and the zoo country. This is a very important message. I want you guys now to calm down and listen to this message because this message clear talk everything about this court that has happened and what is going to happen next. So calm down and listen to this voice note and tell me what you think in the comment section because this guy, what see this guy talk, Omo?
Hey, she's not she one and the only. We are not two. My brother Simon Ekpa yesterday appears in the court, and Nigeria to send their own witnesses in the court too. They appear in the court. All of them, everybody appear in the court to display his or her talent. But guess what happened? Nigeria presented about 10 witnesses to start with. So I came to the court yesterday with 10 witnesses. But the judge said that the 10 witnesses that they came with was too much. What do you want to, witness? And what do you have to tender that you are coming with 10 witnesses? And at the end of the day, the judge now decided to accept 3. You understand? Which one? They started the interrogation that yesterday. Glory be to God of what really happened. Then when they begin to do the investigation and begin to ask some questions, I discovered that what Nigeria came with was not actually the evidence of what the Finnish government was expecting from them. And that is, oh my God, and that was why Simon Ekpa lawyer stood on his ground. He said it before, now that anywhere in the world that Simon Ekpa will win Nigeria. And when we said it, people did not believe. And when I said that Mazen Namdekanu too is going to conquer Nigeria here in Nigeria, people did not believe it. You can see as it's going. The same thing now started. I am happy for Simon Ekpa yesterday. So the evidence by which these people presented, they came with, which they want to use to nail Simon Ekpa, there was no concrete fact there from, according to the lawyer of Simon Ekpa. Because all these things is not Nigeria that you will bend, or you say that the law is, or the judge is under your influence and you use your veto power, your position power to tell judge what to do. It's not Nigeria. Judge is following the law. No, bribing cannot work. He cannot stand here. Except the Finnish government want to finish themselves. The Finnish government want to finish themselves. And which I don't see Alexander stop doing that. No. So he want them to follow this, the normal protocols and the normal procedures with the evidence that Nigerians are coming. Let me tell you, we are calling somebody a terrorist. the same way they come and say Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist, the same Simon Ekpa on the social media, incited so many things in Nigeria that leads to the, killing of Nigerian militaries and other things. Now, the same thing they said that Nnamdi Kanu in London, in Britain, started war trigger to end SARS. And he now asks, the Radio Biafra that you are talking about, that he, registered in London and he uses to incite about Biafra in London, he started to the Biafrans. And Lagos, is it a Biafra land? No. NSAS, where was it to hold? Here in Lagos, not in a Biafra land. So why are you now accusing him of that? They say as a result of that Radio Biafra, that led to the death of Gulag. You understand? The broadcast. So the same thing was what they are using against Simon Ekpa too. And now, my brother, I want to ask a question. Is it Simon Ekpa that is citing the KB massacre in Nigeria? Let's shift from Benue. Let's shift from Plateau State. Now, in KB, I'm talking about the fresh one now. In KB State, is it Simon Ekpa that started that one? Is this Simon Ekpa that is still killing under Mba watch? Is this Simon Ekpa that started the Ebonyi State own? Oshiri. Is this Simon Ekpa that started the one of Sokoto? Is this Simon Ekpa in Jigawa? In Kogi? My brother, name them. Is this Simon Ekpa that started those ones? If Simon Ekpa is a terrorist, as Nigeria tagging to be terrorist, because he's an Igbo man, that was why he was tagged terrorist. Just the same way they attacked IPOB, the same way they attacked Nnamdi Kanu, the same way they attacked everybody that come from the east, that talk about Biafra, that talk about self-referendum, that talk about self-determination, that talk about self-being, freedom. They always tag them a terrorist. But in the court yesterday, they presented their case, invalid report, invalid evidence, evidence that lack merit, evidence that lack concrete facts. Because if actually Simon Ekpa is the one behind what is happening in Nigeria, I believe ever since the whole Simon Ekpa would the killing, the massacring, the terrorism that is going on in Nigeria would have stopped. But because Simon Ekpa is never a terrorist, neither has he ever been involved in doing that. So Simon Ekpa is innocent. And that is what the lawyer has finally, opened up yesterday. Let the judge to understand that this they are saying. Moreover, Simon Ekpa was in Finland. He never departed from Finland. He never traveled to Nigeria for a very long time now. So how do you now say this is the one responsible? Even after you are apprehended him, all these things should have stopped. But rather the thing increased. That means there are elements that are sponsoring it, not Simon Ekpa. But they are just using Simon Ekpa, as to blackmail him. They are just putting all the blame on him. The same thing happened against IPOB. You can see today somebody like Hope Uzodimma, Hope Uzodiojo, Hope Uzodimma has finally come out and say all the killings that have been happening in the whole Southeast, that IPOB, we are innocent of it. Then who are the people responsible? He said there are political opponents. That is political statements. So he knows the people, but he doesn't want to mention them. He just used the word political opponent. Is there anything like political opponent in taking lives? Political opponent in vandalizing people's home, in raping girls, killing people, vandalizing farms, and destroying crops? Is there any political opponent there? That is to tell you that Simon Ekpa is not the one responsible for what Nigeria is facing. He's not responsible. And it can never be, because he has not been for once. So Nigeria just using this allegation because he's an Igbo man against him. You and I know. Sheka Ogumi, the negotiator, was deported by who? Saudi Arabia. But here in Nigeria, he was welcome. That is to tell you, the people that are carrying out atrocities in Nigeria are the people that Nigeria have bring close to themselves, and that are the people that are Nigerian friends. But when you stand in upright way, you become an enemy to Nigeria.
But with this now, with what happened yesterday at the court, do you think there's a very big chance for Simon Ekpa to escape, or for him to, avoid the CCSG tempo provided by the prosecution team?
My brother, it has always been tough when it comes to Igbo man. And it has always been there. Whenever it comes to Igbo man, Nigeria always use what God has blessed us with to attack us. Oye, and every other resources, they have laid their hand. You can see what is playing now in the world, that the Europeans, Western Europeans are looking for a way. All the gas that is coming from the Imo state, you know, in the world, after Russia, it is Nigeria, and that Nigeria happened to be Imo state. So they want to find a way. That's why they don't want to be afraid to go. And that is why the British are pressing button to any Igbo man that stand up, you know, for Biafra issue, that will charge him a terrorist. Do you understand? So Simon Ekpa is standing trial, a victorious trial at the end. But so many bloggers and so many Nigerians may be seeing it or looking at it that at the end of the day, Simon Ekpa will go jail 6 years, some will say 20 years, some can give it any number, but it doesn't concern me, and neither am I bothered, neither am I being moved. I am not moved. I told you people that Biafra issue is a what? A spirit. So even Simon Ekpa drop it, somebody else will pick it, and somebody else will pick it. And many are still going to pick it. So Simon Ekpa is standing trial. At the end of the tunnel, I am not talking about the beginning of the trial. I'm talking about how it will end. That is one matter. It is not about how far, but how well. Okay? So it is going to end well in favor of Biafra. And when it ended well in favor of Biafra, that means Simon Ekpa has conquered Nigeria. Just the same way Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is finishing Nigeria here in Nigerian court of law.
So, but you feel that because of the oil and gas, that's why Nigeria is consistently, doing this to Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. So the oil and gas. So are you not saying that the EU and the ICC should look into this?
Yes, of course. The UN should look into this. EU should look into it. ICC should look into it because the British hand is involved. I want you to get where I'm coming from. The British hand are involved, and that is why they are scared of Igbo man becoming the president of Nigeria. So that the Igbo man being the president, they are scared that he may rise up. Look at what happened during Jonathan time. See what they did against Jonathan. Because they were scared when Jonathan was like, talking about those gold in the north. So they became scared that this man may even come up and say, since you people are not allowing Nigeria to lay hand on the gold, that the resources in the east, much especially our place, will not be used again. So they quickly flame up, collide with the Yorubas, and hold allegation against Jonathan with the Chibos Gear platform, and they use it to do what? To chase away Jonathan from the office. Propaganda. You get it? So the British, Pitobina conquered Nigeria and because that is the choice of the Nigerians in 2023. But because he's an Igbo man, they refused to give him his mandate. You get it? So all these things are the reason why they are fighting against Igbo. They are not fighting against Igbo by Nigeria alone. They are fighting against Igbo by the forces outside, international forces, like the British. Their hand, Akahad there. You get it? Akaham Regeni or there. That's why they don't want any Igbo man to get to the corridor of that position. So that Igbo man will not stand up and liberate the Igbos, the Biafrans, so that they will continue to suck Nigeria the way they have been sucking the resources of this country. I'm talking about the British. You see where I am coming from. You see where I am going. You see where I am touching. That is why it is very, very obvious. And I am angry about this. And it is the high time people like Obi and the rest should start waking up from their slumber. Should start waking up from their sleep. Should start giving themselves brain and forget these issues of Nigeria. Because one Nigeria has expired, is no longer working. So it is high time we come as one. But let me tell you something. If Nigeria is working, Ghana wouldn't have sent one of their judiciary, the judge, to the court last time in Nnamdi Kanu court. Cameroon wouldn't have sent their judge, one of their judge, into Nigerian court room to observe the way Nnamdi Kanu case is being handled. Because if Nigeria is working, you have president as ECOWAS chairman, and Ghana is about to pull out from ECOWAS. You see why they send their delegates in the court. And you see the area that I'm saying, there may be a fair judgment in favor of Nnamdi Kanu, because the Sahel have refused to return to ECOWAS. Instead of them returning, many are leaving ECOWAS because of what? Immobile men they take or they welcome as their chairman, as their leader, in person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's a weak link. It's not qualified. They don't deserve it. But because of Igbo man, Igbophobia, I repeat, Igbophobia, Igbo must not be there. Instead of that, let's manage Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is what has scattered Africa today. Had it been that French people knew it, that it will go to this time, this level, they would have allowed Igbo man, Obi, mandates to be given to Obi, so that Africa, they will not lose. Africa, I'm talking about the French Macron, the French president. Had they been knew, they would have allowed Obi so that he will return Africa. But because they play it as a politics and they remove Obi, Igbo man, and what is happening today, it is a payback to the Europeans. And they will continue to lose Africa, and they will continue to lose the resources they have been rooting from Africa, because they are evil and they are wicked. They are what? Desperately wicked. They don't value Africa, they don't have respect for Africa, and they don't honor Africa. Do you know what played in 1944? After the Second World War, all the Africans who stood to fight for the French, and every other part of the Oyibos, the Europeans, that's what happened. In 1944, those guys came up that they should receive the same pay, just like their white men counterparts. Instead of them to be paid, do you know what happened to them? They were all massacred and silenced. But these are the brave men who stood to defend the Europeans, that make Europeans to breathe today from the hands of Adolf Hitler. That is why last time, was it not on the 9th of this month, when Putin was celebrating their victory in Second World War, 80 years after Second World War, he gave a special private jet to Ibrahim Captain Traore. You understand? Because they have used that strategy to enter Africa and to break the wings of these Western Europeans, because they don't value what they have and what Africa has given to them. Now they are losing it. Now they will know the importance of Africa, partnering with them. And God will bless you, my beloved.
I think that they will outsmart Ekpa. Truth has always spoken itself by itself. And Ekpa has actually, excelled.
in Finnish court today. Watila.
Yes.
It's an indigenous
Watila, yes.
in Finland,
Yes.
as you could see. Federal government use that as a bait or tip. Stipend tip. Imagine that kind of small project is increasing the eyes of the Finnish government, whereby they wanted to give out their own person, their own citizen, into Nigerian hellish country. Hell, this place is a hell. A country that is bent on telling lies to international community, and they are not satisfied on annihilating the Igbo nation. I'm telling you that Finland has actually become a laughingstock. I'm saying it. Finland should be watching me now because they sideline their own citizen, Simon Ekpa, who actually joined Finnish government immediately. She went there on scholarship. Within a short period, he was given a designated position in Finnish government, and he wasn't even among the Finnish politicians. And the young boy actually did well. Today, Watila company was awarded a contract as a tip, stipend tip, to bribe Finland. Nigeria needed to bribe Finland. And now Watila, after the execution of the project, or the project execution is on course, they are trying to punish, and they castigate their own citizen. Simon Ekpa is an indigenous person of Finland, citizen of Finland. And because of stipend projects that Nigeria just, a government that is too greedy, does Finland in their life ever think that Nigeria will give them meaningful contract or meaningful project as an investment in Nigeria? The politicians we have now, the current crops of politicians in Nigeria are greedy. They are ravenous wolves. But Finland, being a Scandinavian country that has been, alienated from African continent, we are thinking that Nigeria is going to give them the whole crude oil in Nigeria as a bait, trade by butter. No, Nigeria is not like that. It's a greedy country. The whole politicians in Nigeria are greedy. They are ravenous wolves. They don't tell us the truth. And look at Finland. Finland has become a laughingstock because Simon Ekpa had his way today. His legal counsel coming with many evidence, and nobody appear in Finland as a witness from Nigeria. If Bianco no ever tries it, the Anambra will renounce him, and there is communicating. She is married to a woman. I told you about how Enugu people has been drilling from being the original Igbo. Originality as in Igbo nation denies Enugu people. That's why they are married Fulani anyhow. Ken Kono went to Finland to testify against his brother. Who are those Enugu people that are very annoyed with me? Trying to subscribe from extreme news. This thing. You must check yourself well and know who is saying the truth and who is advising you to become human beings. Enugu man is annoyed because I'm saying the truth. Could they stop me from telling the whole world exactly how it is in this part of the world? They don't want to face and embrace the reality. Travesty of justice is going on in Nigeria. Enugu state governor, as wicked as he is, allowed Fulanis to be infiltrating that Igbo region by killing their women. Nobody say women. Cleric and the people that we are conducting night vigil in 2017. We are all unalived and annihilated by dirty Fulani herdsmen that are criminals, crooks. And they want to stop me from saying the truth. How dare you? Listen and listen good. Could be that Biancono or Pitanga actually went to Finland to testify against Simon Ekpa. Finnish government will arrest all of them because of what? Want of, let me say, tactile, material, concrete and physical evidence. They lack it. No evidence so far because there are many evidences all over the world today. The whole world is watching. I like the news I listened to today. The platform is from Finland. They say that after the war, no conqueror, no vanquish. But the Igbos have become victims since 1970 till date. A white man was giving the news. What are you telling me? The newscaster was a white. He said, how is it? Is there anything to show actually that Simon Ekpa is inciting terrorism in the southeastern Nigeria? He said, no evidence. But he said, on the side of Simon Ekpa, many evidences were tabled today in the court of law in Finland. Many meaning that Nigeria has wrapped up their faces with in shame onto a very bloody, crooked 419 nation that can never say the truth. They allow crooks into the political leadership of the country, and nobody is living well in this country, because when you wake up in the morning, lies. You go to toilet, lies. Go to market and buy now. You will see, go to market women, lies. This one will tell you, say, my fish is 700 naira. This one will say, fish. You know, go Imbo market. The fish is 1-2. Go down there. Somebody will tell you, say, don't mind them. Buy 600. Go the other side. Somebody will say, nah, lie, you 2,000. Lies. And the citizens are learning it from the political leaders, because they don't talk lies. The head is spoiled. The head lies. What do we expect the bottom or the tails to do? The bottom and the tails will be lying. Nigerian political leaders, they have actually infiltrated the church. The church is no longer after Jesus Christ anymore. What the church is looking is money. Political position. That's why you have many of them in politics that are from church, many pastors, and they could not live up to what Jesus Christ actually depicted when he was in the world. You are telling me about what? Okay, but for whoever is winning a winning streak that Mazin Nandekanu started since how many months now? Anytime he goes to court, he wins. Samuel has gone to court today. He is winning, and he has won. Eba was dancing. Yes. Accurately, the Biafran sit-at-home order today as commemoration of 55 years of Nigerian Biafra war. I don't really understand. We are all over the world today celebrating and jubilating. Why? We are sitting at home to celebrate our heroes. People that were Biafran heroes that are just on London. Okay, so we've seen a company in Russia wanting to hack into Wasila, in the website as regards, yes. So they into it because Russia hold every hardware, software in the world, hack materials, virus to penetrate any website. That's why